It is now Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everybody. I had a video planned out for after this, but I had it somewhere in my files, so I found it now. I was gonna be talking about death metal matchups since I ran out of ideas to do for the channel and more to talk about. So here's the video. I forgot to reload the audio and reclip it because I'm too tired to do that. So here we go. And also keep in mind that this video is old, so yeah, some of these matchups happened before the season ended, so I had to keep that in mind. So yeah, here's the video. Okay, so I kind of ran out of video ideas, so here's this, I guess. Death Battle. I love this versus series for better or for worse. Either way, we can all admit it's kind of one of the best ones around, and we can also agree that the fights can come out as a hit or miss. But I wanted to throw my hat in the ring, and like I said before, since I'm running out of video ideas, so I got bored, and I'll talk about some death battle matchups.
I rose, got nothing on me and my 2D hoes. Top a hentai body pillow, Chizuru, you know I got 'em all. And Remen 02 up on me, chillin' in the sauna. On my anime, we caught up 2D girls, I got a lot of. And my wife with my up in my bed, she's saying
No, but it was enough to give us a good head start.
Also, another quick editor's note, I should have said in the intro that I was going to pick out the matchups I wanted to see and some community ones I heard that interest me. So, here's the first matchup.
Archlord has the same number of points that my Clay Guardian has, so your chance of winning is like 95%.
Gwen. Okay, fine. Gwendolyn. You and Kevin, pack your bags.
Starting the list, I have Ben 10 versus Jaden Yuki. I had this one in the back of my head, but I know people would prefer Yugi versus Ashmore, but I just find this one way more interesting. The play on Jaden's monsters and Ben's aliens, this will be fun. And plus, I would love to see how Neos will come into play against Alien X if we give Jaden, Yubel to put up a good fight, if you get what I mean. So, continuing what I was saying, I would rather have them use Omniverse Ben so they can play off each other more. And I will have to say this will be a good, interesting fight. I don't know who will win this one because I'm not an expert, so I'll just say I'm rooting for Ben, but my money's on Jaden. We'll say it like that. Next matchup.
Live for today. Live for tomorrow. Please, Saya, you don't.
I know I'm about to confuse somebody by saying the same name, as these both characters are both named Saya, so I'll address one as Kisaragi. So I have Saya Kisaragi versus Saya Otonashi, Blood Seed versus Blood Plus. From what I heard, the connections are they're both in the same series, and Kisaragi is a clone of Otonashi. Yeah, spoilers, my bad. You should have learned that before you clicked on this video. Also, I have seen Blood Seed, but I have not seen Blood Plus, so I feel like Kisaragi would win from what I've heard, but I think Otonashi might win. I don't know. I'm just going off base from what I heard because I'm not into the scaling that much. So, yeah, I think this will be a good fight. Onward to the next matchup I have in store.
In a while, but I'm back.
I can see that. Good to have you with us, Lelouch.
Adele, this is my perfect victory! That's right! I win!
Before somebody gets on my neck about this fight, I wanted this matchup back in 2016. So here we have Lelouch versus Light. And the analysis of the connections? Well, you should know by now if you've seen both animes. Both are teenage boys who've gotten something to manipulate the power, and they're trying to use it as their own way of justice. Lelouch with the Geas, and Light with the Death Note, and having their own analysis or undervise or different names. Lelouch with Zero and Light with, Kira. I can see that fight starting off with Light doing something very, very dumb and using the Death Note and Suzaku to kill Lelouch as the fight commences. I was gonna say, have it just start off with a regular chess match, then lead into who's gonna outsmart who, and regular street fighting and using weapons around. And from what I heard, the victor is with Lelouch, so that's a win on my book. Here's the next matchup.
Oh, great holy wrath! Smite the wicked!
Goku is overdue for another death battle, and you guys know it. And from the other Goku versus matchup ideas I've seen, they're kind of stupid to my opinion. Like, come on guys, really? Goku versus Sailor Moon and Goku versus Pegasus Saiya? They would kill this man. And on top of that, Goku versus Goku, DBS versus Dragon Ball GT, really? I mean, Brandon Gates did do a track on it, so I will admit the track slaps, but this is more of like my personal pick for a Goku fight. Even though I heard Mori does lose, I would not mind seeing these two go at it. Just have the fight start off with either one of them challenging one in the park as they move on to different lands and they take the fight more serious and start to go all out. But yeah, like I said before, Goku does win this one, so I would not mind seeing Mori come to death battle. And he will be like the first webtoon type character to be on death battle if this happens, so yeah, it checks out. Next matchup, please.
Sengoku, you and the government know what's coming. A war that will embroil the seas far and wide. That's why you're so afraid, though nothing you do will stop it. I've no interest in it myself.
Faith, it's the power that I was born with. And for the sake of argument, even if my ability is what you would call a grace, then this particular one must have chosen me of its own accord. And I don't blame it, as I am the most powerful and exalted one of them all.
Now this is one of the matchups I see from the death battle community that actually caught my interest that got in popularity. Whitebeard versus Escanor. You got people who have gotten my eye with this one, I will admit. Well, you already know the connections. Two burly, strong men in anime that are very, very powerful. With Escanor with his Lion Set of Pride, and Whitebeard with his Haki and his Devil Fruit. Please don't kill me in the comments because I forgot the name of Whitebeard's abilities. I'll put it on the screen. So, who I think would win? I like both characters, but this is like saying, hey, pick your favorite child. And I'm just sitting there trying to think who will win and say who's my favorite. But I will say this, whoever loses this fight, just do like a Magneto versus Tetsuo or a Storm versus Korra type beat and have one pay respects to the other. That's all I ask for. Next matchup.
Thou art I. Thou who would accept blasphemy for the sake of thine own justice. Call upon my name and release thy righteous rage. Reveal the strength of thy will to seek the truth on thine own, though thou be chained down by hell itself. Come, I said!
This is another death battle from the community I see that I want to become real that actually caught my interest. As I love both JoJo's and Persona, Joker vs. Jordan will be a good, very good fight. And why? I'm gonna tell you the connections. Because you might have already known them if you've seen too many people talked about this one. Both are the main protagonists of a 5th iteration of their series, being JoJo's and Persona, and they both are recognized by being a part of a gang. Giorno with Bruno's, as we have Joker being the leader of the Phantom Thieves. I would say who I think would win, but I don't know. I'm in the same situation like I said with Whitebeard vs. Escanor. It's like asking me to pick who's my favorite child. But I would love to see some combat between Golden Experience, Requiem, and Arsene. Now that I think about it, I'll just say like I said before. I'll be rooting for Joker, but I feel like my money will be on Giorno because how broken GER is. Next matchup, please.
My bro is dead! He's gone! But he's right there on my back, and here in my heart! He lives on as a part of me! If you're gonna dig to the heavens! No matter what's in my way, I won't stop! Once I've dug through, it means that I've won!
There must be someone better suited for the job.
Kyle Rayner versus Simone the Digger. This is one of the matchups I see that I want to have. because it's literally just based off willpower, and that has to be one of my favorite abilities when it comes to fiction. And I'm not the only one who wants to see this fight, because I have seen people in the community like hype this fight up and get anyone to know about this fight. Like I said, the connections, they both have willpower, and this will be a good versus non-DC versus death battle in my opinion. Just imagine the sheer amount of craziness that could go hard with these two duking it out. Just imagine that. How do you see why people want this matchup, and I want it too? As of who wins, I want to say Simone, but I gotta say it's Green Lantern, so I don't know that much about Green Lantern. Only know a little bit of the Green Lanterns for real. It's like Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan, and Kyle Rayner, as you see him on the photo right here. So I would say, that's what I said, I would say Simone, but yeah, Kyle. Next matchup. Hey, this is Editor J. I'm talking to y'all like 9:07 in the morning. So, I'm just now finding out about the Death Battle Champion poll, and Kyle versus Simone was on that list when I mentioned the fight, because keep in mind, I started my editing before I found out what this was a thing, so, yeah, I have some other matchups to replace the matchups that were on the champion poll, because I had Kamen Rider Ichigo versus Captain America, and Mordecai Rigby versus Finn and Jake. So here's this other one I have in store, I guess.
It's not about winning or losing!
Now this is the matchup I have on my list to replace Mordecai Rigby versus Finn and Jake. And I also wanted to see because they got popular due to high demand. Little Mac versus Ippo is one of the boxing matches I want to see happen, because I wanted them to set it up like how they did with Balrog versus TJ Combo, have it be set in a ring. For the connections, can't you already tell? They're both boxers. You would not want to see these two duke it out. And for the death, you ain't gotta make it so that much dramatic, so just have it be like a super knockout that just leads one into a coma or something, and with one paying respects to the other. Yeah, I think that could work for a fight. Or death or something, question mark? What do I know? Next matchup, please. Here's Kazuya Mishima versus Rudolph Bernstein, so I have a fighting game match. As for the analysis and the connections, these two are evil martial artists that have something to do with what? Kazuya Mishima and Rudolph with Orochi. As who will win, I think Kazuya will win because the other Rudolph matches were stupid. They put this man against Dio. Dio out of all people. Like, seriously? Dio? But anyway, as the fight would start, one of them tries to take over the other one's company as they fight to see who it should take over whose. So yeah, it checks out. Next matchup. Mai is overdue for another death battle ever since her last fight with Chun-Li. And Yukiko is another character from the Persona franchise I would not mind seeing come into death battle, so I picked this one just to replace Kamen Rider Ichigo versus Captain America, but besides that, I decided to kill two birds with one stone. So here's Mai Shiranui versus Yukiko Amagi, and plus I was playing it safe for Yukiko because the other Yukiko matchups I saw were kind of stupid. Like, they had her against Zuko. Zuko from the last Airbender. She would get killed! But besides that, the connections, you can already tell, fire, 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 and more. You know, fire. As of who wins, I think Yukiko wins. I think. Don't correct me on that, because I don't know if I can be able to see personas or not, so yeah. I also have one request. If anyone does the track like Fairwolf Media or Brandon Gates, I want to see like a good combination of Persona 4 battle music and KOF music, so that would slap. And as usual, here's the next match.
You just got coconut mauled by Maka Albarn!
All of the adrenaline for all my life.
Oh, your weapon looks so cool! Can I take a look at it?
Do that later! Just get away!
If I would not have mentioned this matchup in this video, I would have been mad at myself for even trying to make in this video. And here we have Ruby versus Maka, one of the biggest Ruby matchups I've seen that actually makes sense. Well, to me. And what are the connections, you might ask? Anime girls with big scythes. Who does not want to see that happen? It's amazing. As for who wins, we all know how much broken the Soul Universe can be at times. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Maka, and it's not because of bias. I do love Ruby, but I fell off with the later volumes and after the creator passed away, so yeah, I ain't like a Ruby fan no more that much. So yeah, here's the next matchup, and this one is a personal pick for me.
How's he supposed to concentrate when that little bitch won't shut up?
アンナはアンナだろ。遅れてすまん。ただいま、アンナ。
And this is a fight that is personal to me because I used to love both of these shows at a time when they were still running. So here we have Yusuke Urameshi versus Yo Asakura, Yu Yu Hakusho versus Shaman King. The connections, they're two teenage boys who have something to do with spirits and manipulate and manifest spirits. Yusuke fighting demons and uses spirit energy being a spirit detective, with Yo being a shaman and wanting to become the Shaman King. As of who wins, I want to say Yusuke, but I feel like Yo might have this in the bag because I don't want to show any bias. And plus I know Brandon Hicks did like a fan-made commission track. Can somebody commission it? In the vocal version, it slaps. I did not expect that song to get a vocal version, so this makes me more hyped to see if this fight gets like a death battle one day. Because if this does, you're gonna see the biggest reaction from me and possibly a reaction video. I don't know about that one. That's if this becomes a fight. So here's the next couple matchups I have.
Now it's time to kill the funk.
Dance. Sode no Shirayuki.
Hey look, another Shaman King matchup. Okay, cool. So here we have Rukia versus Horo Horo. For the connections, it's like I said with Yusuke versus Yo, but instead it's two characters who have something to do with spirits, but they have ice powers. No shocker. And of course another connection of mine I have, now I'm going to add on here. They both have something to connect themselves to the main character. Ichigo to Rukia, because Rukia was the one who introduced Ichigo to Soul Reapers, and Horo Horo facing against Yo and tagging along with him to make sure he becomes a Shaman King. As who wins? I have no idea on that one, but I will say this. Have the fight start off with Horo Horo trying to kill a Hollow, and Rukia comes in to save him as he feels some type of way and starts mistaking her for an enemy shaman, as the two start to begin commencing their fight. And who I want to get the track? Fairwolf Media. Why? I don't know why. Because I need to put Brandon Yates down because I've been mentioning him too much throughout this video here and there, so yeah. I'm gonna say Fairwolf, and I will not know who wins. Next matchup.
I don't need Brian to watch TV with. I got you, Meg.
Step outside for a second.
Here's another cartoon matchup I had for this video. Homer Simpson versus Peter Griffin. And if you don't know the connections, and some of you who do, I'm going to explain them anyway. Two cartoon dads who have loving families and who are the bumbling idiots and husbands to the wife of their series. Peter with Lois and Marge with Homer. And they're well known as in pop culture as of now today, as they both started in way back. As of who wins, I want to say from what I heard Homer wins. But at the same time, I want to say Peter would win because I don't know if we could count his cutaway gags that he was in here and there as feats and other things. So, somebody let me know that in the comments. Somebody who is watching this video, please let me know. Because this is getting a little confusing with this fight. Because I know they did this in the crossover episode, it's just I see more people want this as a death battle than like an actual fight. And plus, the two force they have will be pretty interesting to see clash again once more. So, here's the next matchup.
Who the fuck are you?
Hey, not funny, not funny. Sarah, stop fooling around.
I'd say you're the one fooling around.
With the many amount of Halloween matchups I see here and there, like Mysterio versus Scarecrow, This one has caught my attention more. Chucky versus Slappy. Why? Because I used to love the Child's Play series at a time, and I used to love watching Goosebumps when I was a kid, even though Slappy scarred me as a child. Nevertheless, connections. Two possessed dolls who are vengeful spirits against humans. Chucky against Andy and Slappy against R.L. Stine. Because I'm going off from the movie. As of who wins, I'd heard that Chucky would win. If I'm correct, I don't know. Because like I said before many times, I'm going off from what I heard in the debates I've seen. So Chucky might win. So as I picture how the fight would start off, have Chucky be in the Sandler house, come out and try to kill one of the people in the house. As Slappy starts to move and tells him to beat it and calling him a slave, where Chucky gets offended and they get the fighting. Because I have an idea, have one part in the fight where it's like we have the army of Chuckies versus the monsters that Slappy can bring out from the book. And another one, I would love to see this fight that'll make me laugh. Have Chucky get so pissed off to the point he says a whole bunch of cuss words at Slappy as we see Slappy have a whole jaw drop moment. Because Chucky's rated R while Slappy's from PG. So yeah, if this was to become a Halloween episode, I would love this. Anyways, next matchup, because I got a couple more matchups to fill out and talk out about, and I'll be out your hair.
今の掃除、あんたが散らかしたんだから責任持ってきれいにしといてね。
Don't listen to him! I'm your wizard and I like the other four better! As you wish, mistress.
Yep, you can tell I ran out of ideas for Ren at this point. Because none of the other Ren matchups interested me for it. Like, I had her against Hermione from Harry Potter. Hermione. I'm not trying to be picky, but where are the connections between those two? So, I went with Lucy versus Ren because of this reason. There are two magic mirrors who have some type of servant. Lucy with the celestial keys, while Ren has her magic and Archer by her aid. As of who wins, I heard Ren would win, but we gotta keep in mind that they like how Death Battle likes to scale, because if they scale Lucy to like Natsu's level, yes, Ren might be in trouble. Sorry about that. As of how I pictured how the fight would start, I'm not that good enough on this one, because I don't know how this one start off. So just do like y'all did in Natsu vs. Ace. Lucy's trying to hunt down Ren because she just wants to get some money just to pay for her rent. Simple as that. And yeah, and whoever picked for the track, and even I'm thinking, just like Firewolf and Brandon Collide. Yeah, that sounds about right. We're getting into the second matchup, so here you go.
Go straight at him. Close the distance with courage. Here he comes. Into the firing range. I missed? He's so fast.
What did I do?
This would have to be one of my most second wanted matchups to ever happen in a death battle. Baki versus fucking Oma from Kengan Ashura. Imagine how hard this would go as a fight. As for the connections, you sure already know, they're both martial artists who are trying to become the strongest. So, this is the question. Who do y'all think will win the fight? Because I have no idea who will win this one. Because I would say Baki, but I gotta keep in mind Oma and what he did in his series. And how I see the fight will start, just have it take place during a tournament and these two are just gotta fight against each other just to advance. Just do like they did in Deku vs. Asta, that simple. And for the track, after hearing Firewolf Media's Must Die 1,000 Deaths, get him to do the track for this fight. That will go hard. And we're at the final one. This will have to be the most important matchup I will want to see. And this is the matchup I want to see most in Death Battle. Let's roll it. Itsuki Minami, aka Iki, versus Tsunoyoshi Swanda, aka Suna. Hitman Reborn versus Air Gear. This is the biggest important matchup to me because these will have to be one of my greatest and favorite shonen protagonists of all time. As of who will win the fight, I don't know that one yet because I haven't seen that many people go into detail with this debate and haven't seen that many watched or read any of the two. And plus, this will be important for me is because we'll finally have time to show Hitman Reborn and Air Gear in the limelight. Because Hitman Reborn has gotten more attention over the years while Air Gear is still just underrated. But who to get the track? Brandon Yates, of course, because Astro Reborn, that is a perfect and just like a chef's kiss type track to me. It's how the fight would start. Let's just have Suna challenge Iki for the Sky Regalia, as Iki will start to think Suna's from an enemy gang. And as I forgot to mention from the connections, these two are both the protagonists of their respective shonen anime and it has something to do with the sky. Suna with his Sky Vangalia, while Iki has the Sky Regalia. Because this fight, like I said, is important to me. Because if this happens one day, I'll be so hyped to the point I'll be crying tears of joy. Because this one will get the biggest and happiest reaction out of me. So, yeah, that's all the matches I wanted to talk about. This shall be your Christmas gift as of now. But I will say this, I will be trying to post here and there as of next year because I have college to start. But we'll see how this goes. 2022 was somewhat of a ride for me and somewhat of an experience, so yeah. This has been Jay Sama, and peace out, and I'll see you in the next year.
Trust me when I say I wish that I could go back. All these bitches